You create a perfect AI video scene. The lighting is beautifully moody. The framing is exact.
Mm-hmm.
But then you generate the next shot. The character's face just changes completely. The camera unexpectedly spins out of control.
Oh, yeah.
The entire illusion just breaks. It's like the AI woke up with amnesia.
It's incredibly frustrating, isn't it? The whole cohesive narrative just, falls apart instantly.
Welcome to our deep dive. I'm really glad you're here with us today.
Absolutely.
We are exploring a very specific structural solution today. It's called a Storyboard-First workflow.
Right.
This framework basically solves that notoriously messy AI video problem. We're going to cover the Manual Chatbot Method first.
Yeah, that helps you really learn the underlying mechanics.
Exactly. Then we'll shift gears. We'll look at the Agentic method. That's how you actually scale up your production.
Which is where it gets really fun.
Whether you want to make flashy product ads or, say, Pixar-style cartoons, this matters. This is your ultimate shortcut. It helps you avoid massively wasted time. And it saves your expensive generation credits.
Yeah, because the default way of making AI video is just structurally broken. It fails completely when you need more than a single isolated shot.
Let's unpack that a bit. What's the underlying mechanism here? Why does it get so messy so fast?
Well, think about prompting shot by shot from scratch. You ask a neural network for a scene. It hallucinates a beautiful image based on your text.
Right.
Then you ask for the next chronological scene, but text is notoriously vague. The style inevitably slips. The characters, they warp into completely different people.
Right, and the AI is basically just guessing.
Exactly. It's completely random because it lacks a shared visual memory between those separate requests.
It reminds me of a terrible, chaotic movie production.
Oh, how?
Imagine a director shooting a 2-second clip of a scene. Then, immediately after, they fire the entire film crew.
Wow, okay.
They fire the director of photography, they fire the actors, the lighting technicians, they hire a completely new, totally different crew.
That sounds like a nightmare.
They do this absurd reset for every single shot. There's simply no institutional memory.
That's a perfect way to visualize it.
Yeah.
There's zero continuity. You end up spending all your generation credits just trying to fix the inconsistencies.
Yeah.
And even then, the video still feels totally unfinished and disjointed. It's an endless cycle of trial and error.
That brings us to the actual solution, the Storyboard-First workflow.
This changes the entire paradigm. A storyboard gives your AI video generator one clear, undeniable visual guide.
Mm-hmm.
You create this visual anchor before any animation happens.
It locks the important details in, the main character, the sequential scene order,
Right.
the specific camera angles, the overall visual composition. It is all explicitly mapped out right there in one single image.
Right. That single image becomes the foundational anchor. The final video feels so much more consistent.
Yeah.
You move from shot to shot seamlessly, mostly because the AI isn't guessing anymore.
I have a question about this underlying architecture. Why do these models struggle so much with consistency? I mean, why do they fail without a visual anchor?
Text instructions are just too vague for neural networks. Words leave way too much room for visual interpretation.
Ah, I see.
An image, however, provides strict mathematical boundaries for the pixels. It forces the model to stay strictly on track.
So the image acts as a hard boundary for the AI's imagination.
Exactly. It completely reins in the chaos.
Now we know exactly why we need a storyboard. But we still need to build one.
Right.
We should definitely do it by hand first. We really have to understand the mechanics. Then we can confidently automate it.
The manual method is always the best teacher. You only need 3 basic structural parts here.
Okay.
A text chatbot, an image generator, and a dedicated video AI generator.
Let's start with the first phase, setting up the brain of the operation, the chatbot. You have a few distinct options here based on your needs.
Yeah, ChatGPT is generally the best overall choice. It works great if you already use it daily. Claude is another really strong option. It is exceptionally good for detailed, logical reasoning. It handles long, complex instructions beautifully.
And there's a highly capable free option, too.
Yeah, DeepSeek. It's absolutely the best free pick right now. There's no credit card required at all.
Oh, that's great.
There's no frustrating paywall blocking you.
So the chatbot essentially handles the hard logistical thinking. You just creatively guide the main idea.
Right.
Normally, you have to meticulously write everything yourself. The specific camera direction, the exact scene timing, the ambient sound design.
It gets overwhelming really fast, especially for beginners just starting out. You feel pressured to write the perfect prompt,
Let's quickly define that term for clarity. A prompt is simple. Instructions you type to tell the AI exactly what to make.
Right. And writing those instructions consistently is a difficult art form.
I have to admit something here. I still wrestle with prompt drift myself when I try to write these by hand.
Oh, totally.
My ideas start focused, but the AI just, wanders off.
Beat. We all do. Human language is inherently messy. That's exactly why we use the chatbot as a middleman.
Yeah.
It basically becomes your dedicated prompt writer. It turns your rough creative idea into a rigidly structured format.
And better structured prompts naturally mean fewer bad visual outputs.
Exactly. You waste significantly less time. You do far fewer frustrating retries.
So how do we actually start this process?
You need the master instruction file. It's called the chatbot PDF in the source materials.
Okay.
You open the designated storyboard folder in Google Drive. You download that specific PDF file.
Let's talk about the logic here. What exactly is happening when we use that file?
So you drag it in your chat window, you just type run this and send it. What you're actually doing is loading a complete logical framework into the AI.
It's setting the rigid rules of the game.
It really is that simple. The PDF contains the full workflow logic. You don't have to explain the production process from zero.
That saves so much time.
Yeah, the chatbot reads the document thoroughly. It instantly understands exactly how to build a visual narrative structure.
So it's not just a normal conversational assistant anymore. It essentially becomes a miniature production system.
Then the chatbot actively asks you a question. It wants to know your desired storyboard type. You choose either the ad or non-ad pathway.
Ads are obviously for specific product videos, slick brand clips, punchy short promos.
And the non-ad pathway is for everything else. Cartoons, flowing anime, short narrative stories, engaging educational videos.
You just pick what fits your specific goal.
Yeah. Then the chatbot generates 10 distinct ideas. This is incredibly amazing for beginners. Staring at a completely blank page is notoriously hard.
It really is paralyzing sometimes.
It is. The chatbot might suggest an animated cat learning to cook a meal, or perhaps a Pixar-style educational video explaining the entire water cycle.
You can even upload a specific reference image, right?
Absolutely.
Like maybe you have a particular character design already in mind. The chatbot uses that visual to carefully build the prompt.
It saves an absolutely massive amount of time. You just review the list and pick the core idea you like best.
Once you have your idea, we move to the next phase, generating the actual storyboard image. The chatbot gives you a highly detailed visual prompt.
You take that specific prompt block, you paste it directly into an image generator.
The source materials show ChatGPT actually gave the strongest storyboards. The visual panels were remarkably clean. The characters stayed highly consistent across the grid.
That makes perfect logical sense. The exact same underlying model wrote the prompt. It deeply understands its own internal structure and formatting quirks.
What about testing the other available tools?
Gemini and Google Flow can definitely work, but they require much more careful checking.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes the visual outputs look oddly distorted. The generated panels might not strictly follow the requested grid structure.
So the strategy is to save a few different variants. Generating 2 to 4 versions is a good practice. One specific layout might animate far better than the others.
Right. You're not just looking for a single pretty image. You want clear, readable camera flow and coherent action across the panels.
The final phase of this manual process is the magic.
Yeah.
Generating the actual animation. You go back to your active chatbot window. You simply type next.
The chatbot then gives you the final animation prompt. This explicitly tells the video generator how to move the pixels.
Nice.
It includes precise camera movement, the action timing, the overall mood.
You take your chosen storyboard image, you take that new animation prompt, you put both of them into your chosen video tool.
The comparative testing here is really fascinating. Gemini using Veo 3 completely failed the test.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it just fundamentally did not generate the requested video.
Wow. Google Flow using OmniFlash was considered passable. It worked okay for those standard ad-style videos, but the generated sound felt highly repetitive. It really struggled with complex non-ad character animation.
The clear, undisputed winner was Higgsfield, specifically using their Seedance 2.0 model. It consistently gave the absolute cleanest result. The characters remained remarkably consistent. It had very low visual distortion during movement.
So you open the Higgsfield platform, you upload your clean storyboard image, you carefully paste the animation prompt,
Yep.
you select the Seedance 2.0 model, then you generate the final video.
If you truly want the cleanest possible result, use Seedance. That is undoubtedly the definitive first choice.
I have to ask something here about the philosophy of this. Does relying so heavily on this master PDF limit your own creative input?
Not at all. The PDF simply structures the underlying logistical format.
Yeah.
You are still the one dictating the core narrative idea. The AI just handles the formatting.
The PDF is the scaffolding, but you still build the actual house.
Perfectly said. You repeat this manual flow for every single new video. It deeply teaches you how the system actually works under the hood.
You watch the core idea become a structured prompt. The prompt becomes a visual storyboard. The storyboard dynamically becomes a moving video. Sponsor. We are back. We just thoroughly covered the manual method. It's an undeniably great teacher, but constantly copying and pasting gets incredibly painful.
Especially if you want to produce 50 videos a week.
Yeah.
The friction is just too high.
Right. We need to evolve from being a manual laborer to being a true director. We need to implement the Agentic method.
This is where things get really fascinating. We bring in AI agents.
Okay.
These aren't just chatbots that wait for text. They intelligently automate the entire production pipeline. They proactively suggest ideas.
Wow.
They autonomously write the prompts. They generate the storyboards themselves.
They even route the files directly to the video generator. You essentially just give the agent a broad goal, then you simply check the final preview.
There are a few really good agent software options available. Codex is highly recommended as very beginner-friendly. The interface feels a whole lot like standard ChatGPT.
Claude Code is another powerful one. It gives you incredibly deep project control, but it can definitely cost a bit more to run.
And then there's Antigravity. That is considered the best, mostly free setup available. If your production budget matters, absolutely start right there.
The initial software setup is pretty normal. You download it, you install it on your machine, you securely sign in. But you really need to strategically organize things first.
Yes, you have to create a deeply organized workspace. The autonomous agent needs a structured place to confidently save and retrieve files. It acts as the agent's digital brain.
You make a specific folder strictly for the storyboards, another isolated folder solely for the final videos.
Right.
You need one designated for the text prompts, and finally one folder for the ultimate exports.
After you build that structure, you choose your operational mode. You select either manual mode or auto mode.
I want to push back on this a bit. If we use this auto mode and the agent does everything, do we lose the creative soul of the project by letting the AI run so freely?
I completely see why you might feel that way. It's a very valid philosophical concern.
Yeah.
But think of manual mode as your essential training wheels. It teaches you the basic mechanics. Auto mode is strictly for scaling your broader vision.
So you're not out of the loop.
Exactly. You are still the core director. You still set the overall aesthetic vision and boundaries.
So we download the designated agent PDF.
Yeah.
We upload it directly to the agent's interface. We type run this to initiate the sequence.
The agent thoroughly reads the file. It autonomously sets up the entire project environment.
Oh, wow.
It might even install necessary software dependencies. It prepares all those folders we just talked about.
It then asks you clarifying questions. Maybe it asks which specific engine backbone to use for generation. You carefully choose your desired technical path.
You no longer handle every tedious setup step manually. The software agent literally becomes your dedicated technical operator.
You choose the add or non-add pathway again. The agent proactively suggests creative ideas. Or you can explicitly ask for something highly specific.
Like a vibrant orange iPhone product ad. Or a cute, clumsy monster desperately trying to get some grapes.
The monster makes a huge mess. I absolutely love that visual example.
It's great.
The agent seamlessly handles the next steps completely automatically.
It expertly writes the prompt. It securely generates the image. It instantly shows you a visual preview.
Whoa. Imagine scaling to 1 billion queries. Or in this case, generating a whole animated series while you sleep. 2-sec silence.
That level of autonomous scale is genuinely hard to grasp. If you like the generated storyboard, you just intuitively type next.
And then
The agent then autonomously creates the final video. It conveniently gives you a direct preview link. If it looks fundamentally wrong, you simply type regenerate.
you can give highly specific feedback, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, make the monster look cuter. Use much warmer lighting colors. Make a significantly cleaner 4-panel storyboard grid.
The agent actively fixes it based on your notes. You are never permanently stuck with the very first result it spits out.
You can even ask for multiple variants at once. This specific capability is incredibly powerful for testing.
You basically tell the agent to seamlessly create 5 different storyboard variants. You carefully pick your absolute favorite layout.
Right?
Then you ask for 3 distinct animation variants based on that single image.
Because AI video is inherently unpredictable, the third generated version might be way better than the first attempt.
The agent happily handles all that tedious repeated work.
Yeah.
Testing endless visual variants is suddenly very easy and frictionless.
You essentially run a completely repeatable content system. You just sit back and say, give me 10 brand new ideas.
You critically pick the strongest ones. The agent generates the storyboards. It expertly animates them. You just repeat the cycle.
This workflow genuinely works for product ads. Quirky cartoon shorts, dynamic anime clips, engaging educational videos, high-volume social content for TikTok or Instagram.
The Agentic method absolutely shines when you need serious volume. It is a fully realized batch production studio system.
What is the absolute biggest bottleneck when producing at this massive scale?
You still have to review the outputs carefully. You must ensure the storyboard panels are perfectly clean before animating. If the input is flawed, the video is flawed.
Volume is infinite, but human taste and curation are still the ultimate filters.
Exactly. The tedious heavy lifting is fully automated. But you still fundamentally decide what is actually good art.
Let's bring this all together. The big underlying idea here is incredibly clear. A storyboard-first workflow unequivocally equals tight visual consistency.
It mathematically stops the AI from wildly guessing. It firmly keeps your characters and camera flow completely locked in.
The winning software combo is really straightforward to remember. Use GPT specifically for generating the initial storyboard images.
And then crucially use Seedance and Higgsfield for the final AI animation. That specific combination gave the absolute cleanest motion in testing.
You can remarkably run this entire system for free. Tools like DeepSeek and Antigravity make it totally possible for anyone.
It completely changes how you approach the entire video creation process.
If tools like Antigravity and DeepSeek allow anyone to orchestrate a massive, free, automated video studio from their laptop, the barrier to entry for storytelling is now zero. What does a world look like when ideas can instantly become cinematic reality? 2-sec silence.
It's a pretty wild thought.
Try the manual method just once this week. Start with one single focused storyboard. Animate it carefully. See exactly how it feels to bring your idea to life. Thank you for diving deep with us today. Keep learning. Etio Music.